Good morning. Please remain standing as Dr. Lelimia Irvine opens our commencement with Oli. Following that, please join us for Mele Honu'ulu'uli. Now, please quiet your minds and your hearts.
Mai luna hai la lu, mai na vele lau, ta hulu ai, mai, hulia ikane hele o manoa ke atuenue I de uadua hine, hone ana hekaliu. Tahui me haila I mai ana mai poina I mi I da pono tahala hui mai kulo I da kale ua o evala akuna ina le hua o Akale, I kahimea iki huna uwai ani e lono ne kako I ka leo o ki he mauli ola he mai umai ge aloha aloha kako Aloha kako. E o vale hua tua hivila E kua iwi no hoi kalani O ga vole I dabula Kabu I no hoi ka aina O ga vava ka pui kaloko lai Kaloko I no hoi ka hai O no muli lai E aina aloha o e vai Aloha mai na puahala Na puaha he o kahina Aloha mai na puala Na puaha he o kahina Aloha
Please be seated. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects Native peoples as traditional guardians of lands and the enduring relationship that exists between Native peoples and their sacred lands. On behalf of the University of Hawaii, West Oahu, it is with profound reflection that we offer up this Ha'oia Aina, this land acknowledgement, acknowledging Hawaii as an indigenous space whose original people were and are Native Hawaiians. The University of Hawaii, West Oahu, aligns with the University of Hawaii's commitment to foster the well-being of all of our students within an indigenous lens through academic and social processes throughout a 10-campus, system-wide transformation we call Hawaii Papa'okeao. With much aloha, I, Jessica Miranda, Executive Director of Strategic Directions, Assessment, and Accreditation, offer up this land acknowledgement. We welcome all gathered to this Indigenous space where Kuleana guides us to celebrate ancestral knowledge. We acknowledge this Aina of Manoa in the Tuahine Rain, here in the Ahupua'a of Waikiki and the Moku of Kona. Our home campus is the Ahupua'a of Honouliuli in the Moku of Ewa, and like Manoa, also on the Mokupuni of Oahu. This is Hawaii Nei. Ano ai ke aloha.
Thank you. Welcome to the 2024 Annual Commencement Ceremony at the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. My name is Leila Waishimokawa, and I'm honored to serve as your MC today. Mahalo again to Dr. Irvine, faculty and staff of the Na'ulu Center, and Executive Director Miranda. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the UH West Oahu Band, led by Dr. Chadwick Kame. Please rise and join us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner and Hawaii Pono'i. Please be seated. Thank you again to our UH West Oahu Band and Director Kame. And now, please give a warm welcome to UH West Oahu Chancellor Maynette Benham.
Velina mai e nā haumana, nā kumu, nā ohana, a me nā hoaloha. E ia kako makapapahana puka kula kupulau, o ka makahiki, e lua kaukani I waka lua kumoha, me ke kula nui o Hawaii ma Oahu komohana, I ke ahupua'a o Honouliuli, ma ka moku o Ewa, Makamokupuni o Oahu, Makapai Aina o Hawaii nei, aloha. Welcome, students, faculty and staff, family and friends, to our annual Spring 2024 University of Hawaii West Oahu graduation ceremony. Mahalo for joining us to celebrate the brilliant achievements of our graduates here at the SimpliFi Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center. While fond memories beckon to our home campus, to Honouliuli, our spring graduation warrants a much bigger space to celebrate, one that allows our students to invite and include all their family and friends, their extended ohana. So mahalo, family, for coming. And wasn't it great to see yourselves on the Jumbotron coming in? That's the deal. Before we begin, I would like to recognize our commencement committee, our faculty and staff, students and alumni, friends and volunteers who have helped to make this a special day. A big mahalo to our volunteers from UH West Oahu and to our hosts here at UH Manoa. Pa'ipa'i lima. Let's give them a big hand. Now, to our Spring 2024 graduates. On behalf of your University of Hawaii West Oahu Ohana, I offer my warmest congratulations on your academic success, the culmination of your commitment and hard work. Over the last several years, you have had to endure and overcome exceptional uncertainties and challenges. Kalahiki ola, that's the phrase that comes to mind, as you have adapted and grown during these unprecedented times of change and adversity. You have had to be resourceful, resilient, and relentless, which has undoubtedly enriched you, adding to your tenacity, passion, and humanity. Our celebration here today truly marks a very special time for the University of Hawaii West Oahu. Our campus is growing stronger and getting stronger every day. In partnership with our University of Hawaii system campus partners, our community leaders, our industry partners, and our elected officials, we continue to provide vibrant and relevant programs that can achieve powerful dreams. And speaking of dreams, you know, I say this a lot, there's a saying that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. I believe that each of you graduates, you have achieved things that your ancestors would never have imagined. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Congratulations, graduates.
Mahalo, Chancellor Benham. And now I would like to invite Vice Chancellor for Administration, David McDonald, to the podium.
Aloha. We're pleased to introduce our distinguished guests. Please rise as your name is called, and please remain standing. Will the audience please withhold your applause until all are recognized? Senate Vice President, Chair of the Committee on Education, Vice Chair of the Higher Education Committee, Senator Michelle Kidani. Representative David Alkos. Representative Corey Chun. Representative Diamond Garcia, Minority Floor Leader of the House. Representative Trish LaChica. Representative Rochelle Lamusal. Representative Rose Martinez. Representative Amy Peruso, Majority Whip of the House and Chair of the Committee on Higher Education and Technology. Representative Elijah Perrick, Assistant Minority Floor Leader of the House. Representative Kanani Souza, Minority Whip of the House. City Council Member Val Aquino Okimoto, Chair of the Committee on Public Safety. Representative Gregor Elegan, Vice Speaker of the House, who is sitting with his family in the audience. From the University of Hawaii, Regent William Koenig III. Vice President for Budget, Finance, and Chief Financial Officer Calbert Young. Lieutenant Colonel Jared Melander, Professor of Military Science, University of Hawaii, Manoa. Leeward Community College Chancellor Carlos Penaloza, who is sitting with his family in the audience. Ms. Kumiko Yabe Domingo, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Hawaii Tokai International College. Kieran Polk, Executive Director of the Kapolei Chamber of Commerce. We are grateful for all that you have done to support our students and our university, and we are honored that you could be part of today's celebration. Please give them a round of applause. You may be seated. Now welcome our Interim Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Kamanya Graham-Tutt, to the podium.
We are fortunate to have with us today, from the UH Board of Regents, William Haining III. Did you know Dr. Haining was a member of the very first graduating class of the John A. Burns School of Medicine, the University of Hawaii at Manoa? He is an emeritus professor of psychiatry from Jabson, and I'm sure he will be sharing with you some of his valuable insight as he has in past years at our commencements. I would like to invite Regent Haining to the podium.
Thank you. I, for one, will be interested to hear. What comes out of this thing on top of my neck during the next few minutes. At this stage in your education, thank you. At this stage in your education, for there will be multiple stages to it. They'll take different form, but as much to change your perspective as it is to import skills and information. There's a background to all of the knowledge that you've been acquiring, and it's to alter how it is that you see the things and the people around you. In a previous life, I was the medical director of an alcoholism and drug use disorder recovery facility. It was up at Tripler back in the 1980s, and I was that medical director for a number of years. And what we would have was 40 or so folks who were generally on active duty, and they would enter recovery. But unfortunately, every few weeks, we need to send them out into the community in order to see what was going on there with AA meetings and NA meetings and just generally reacquiring people skills. And every now and again, they would come back completely toasted, okay, signifying an unwanted outcome to the experiment. And I would get so ticked off at these guys. And I would just run up across Tripler to the office of a friend and former classmate of mine, who was at that point an Army Lieutenant Colonel, and was a pediatric oncologist. And for those of you unfamiliar with this trick speak of medicine, he is the guy, the pediatrician, who takes care of little kids with cancer. And I would bound into his office, invariably welcomed me, and I would start ranting about my patients. Saying, they're addicts and alcoholics, and you throw your heart into it, and they stamp on your heart, and they just go off and get drunk again. And after I'd quiet down for a while, I'd go back to my office and meditate on what the experience was like. And on one occasion, though, I found myself going to his office for no better reason than just because I liked Bill's company. And he said, well, in that case, could I tell you a story about one of my patients? I went, well, he's earned it, sure. So he began to tell me about a little 6-year-old boy who had developed a particularly nasty form of leukemia. And in concert with the evaluation and treatment of that particular terrible illness, he'd had to undergo bone marrow biopsies, he'd had to undergo all nature of nauseating drugs, put up with constant periods of being unable to hold anything down and becoming dehydrated. His life was all about needles and pain. And at some point, though, he turned a corner. And this is where Bill gets all excited and enthusiastic, and he says, and do you know, we actually got him into remission. And I went, that's wonderful, Bill. So he's not as sick anymore. How much time have you bought him? Because that's always the thought that goes on when you're talking about this. And Bill said, oh, this has been amazingly successful. We've bought him at least for maybe 6 months more. So I'm walking back to my office and I'm thinking to myself, all that effort, combined efforts of physicians, nurses, physical therapists, pharmacologists, physicians, oncologists, all of that, so the poor little kid gets 4 to 6 months of remission from the illness. I said, what an incredible amount of effort and pain expended for this. And this is where the assumption of a wider perspective becomes important, because it finally hit me as I was about 3/4 of the way back to my office, was that it wasn't 4 to 6 months for the little kid. It was 4 to 6 months that his parents would have with the little kid. You get this? Because that's where the alteration in perspective comes from. Now, how does this bear directly on you and your future careers? This isn't the end of your career, your academic road. You're going to find a whole lot of other things to embellish it with. I am simply submitting to you that so grand is your capability and potential that you must not miss a wider view of the circumstances in which you will be working. That's about enough from this box on top of my neck. Thank you very much for the opportunity to have addressed you today.
Mahalo nui, Regent Haining. According to the Board of Regents policy, it states that the board may confer honorary degrees to individuals who are distinguished with the equivalent of a national or international reputation. In the fall of 2023, the faculty of the University of Hawaii West Oahu Humanities Division Music Program recommended awarding the Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters degree, only the second awarded by UH West Oahu, to Michael Nakasone for his outstanding contributions to music education. We are delighted and honored today to bestow this honor. To say a few words about maestro, educator, and community leader, Michael Nakasone, we welcome to the podium Director of the University of Hawaii West Oahu University Band, Dr. Chadwick Kamei.
Aloha. I have the honor of being able to speak about our honoree this morning. Michael Nakasone was born in 1944 in the quiet town of Hilo. He graduated from Hilo High School and later earned his Bachelor of Science and Master of Arts degrees in music education from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. His legacy as an educator and conductor spans more than 50 years, teaching at all levels of music from beginners to lifelong musicians. Throughout his illustrious career, Michael dedicated his time and energy to music education and the people of Hawaii. He taught at Wahiawa Intermediate School, Mililani, and in 1977 moved to Pearl City High School, where he built his extraordinary career. Michael was selected as the 19th bandmaster of the Royal Hawaiian Band and use this appointment to further the educational outreach of this historic ensemble. After his retirement, Michael returned to his educational roots, teaching at Punahou, Campbell, Pearl City, and the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. Maestro Nakasone also conducted the University of Hawaii Youth Symphony II, which provided many more students to learn about music through his guidance. Earlier this month at a convention in DC, Michael and I were able to secure a few moments with Congressional Representative Jill Tokuda. Within our conversation, she reminisced fondly about performing in Maestro Nakasone's Youth Symphony. While in DC, we were also able to hear 4 of the United States military service bands, considered to be the best bands in the nation. Naturally, one of our maestro's former students was on stage performing as an enlisted member of the United States Coast Guard Band. When we approached his former student, he was overjoyed to see Michael and spent a few moments catching up. These recent interactions are just a fraction of the positive and joyous exchanges that I have witnessed throughout my time directing with Maestro Nakasone. Many of his former students will credit him as someone that helped guide their trajectory in life. Michael's incredible work in the field of music education has permeated throughout his career, and he has received many awards and accolades. He received the United States Collegiate Wind Band Citation of Honor, the Hawaii Music Award for Lifetime Achievement, the Hawaii State Department Teacher of the Year, and was an inductee to both the High School Band Directors National Association Hall of Fame and the National Band Association Hall of Fame of Distinguished Conductors. In 2022, he was awarded the National Band Association Alan Gladys Wright Distinguished Legacy Award for his many years of work in the wind band field. Of all the awards presented to Maestro Nakasone, the one that stands out the most was his designation as a living treasure of Hawaii from Hompa Hongwanji. This celebrates his ongoing strive for excellence and acknowledgement of his significant contributions to our state and the people of Hawaii. Maestro Nakasone spent his entire career pursuing musical excellence and providing Hawaii students with an exceptional music education. He has guided many in our field to pursue their dreams and to work for the betterment of our state and the people of Hawaii. To introduce our honoree, Dr. Michael Nakasone, and celebrate his lifetime of work in music education for Hawaii.
Congratulations again to Dr. Nakasone. Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Harold Barkoff, will recognize the candidates for graduation with distinction and honor.
Aloha mai kako. Piaoi. Mai kai. Mahalo no keia hui ana o kako. Ano ke kono ana ia o ke ma ilio pu me o ko e keia la ma keia aina aloha o manoa. The university is excited to celebrate those students who are graduating with distinction. Based on a 4-point scale, these candidates have earned a minimum grade point average of 3.75 and have completed at least 30 credits at UH West Oahu. You will find the names of these outstanding students marked with a pueo feather in your program. Will all those graduating with distinction and wearing a yellow stole rise or raise your hand? addition, the graduating class includes several members who were selected for National Honor Society, such as Alpha Phi Sigma, Alpha Delta Kappa, Golden Key International Honor Society, Kappa Delta Pi, National Society of Leadership and Success, Lambda Alpha Psi Chi Sigma Tau Delta. To symbolize these achievements, these students are adorned with cords of various colors, pins and medallions. Will those students please rise or raise their hand? No can. Mahalo. We would like to call upon those students who augmented their studies by participating in service learning. Those with the service learning red stole, also the Kukulu Ke Kaiaulu red and white stole, our first generation and Kupuna graduates, and our Aipokahu service learning red and black stole, please rise or raise your hand. We would like to recognize those students who served in various capacities on our chartered student organizations, including the Associate Students of UH West Oahu, Campus Center Board, Student Media Board, and Student Activity Fee Board. Thank you for fostering our thriving student life. Please rise or raise your hand. May our candidates who completed their degrees via our distance education program who traveled from the neighbor islands or outside of the state to participate in today's ceremony, please rise or raise your hand. And last, but certainly not least, we would like to recognize our ROTC graduates, student veterans, and current service members, and thank them for their service. For our veterans and service members, including those in the audience, please rise or raise your hand. To thank our veterans for their service, the red, white, and blue cords are funded by the veteran faculty members of UH West Oahu, led by Dr. David Lin from the Business Division. Mahalo. Nui ko'u mahalo I ka ho'ohanohano ana I keia mau haumana. E pa'i lima kākou. Thank you all. Now you may be seated. Mahalo.
Thank you, Dr. Barkhoff. And now, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Di Uono, will introduce the first of our student speakers.
Jana Marie Kehaulani Kahele Madali, also known as Kehau, is receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Humanities with a concentration in Hawaiian Pacific Studies. The Nanakuli High and Intermediate School alum is a frequent and valuable mahi'ai at the Ulu Niu Project at UH West Oahu. Auntie Manu Aluli Meyer commends Kehau for her infectious and healing light and honesty and her strength and wisdom. Please welcome Kehau to share some of that strength and wisdom with all of us.
Aloha. I think we can do better than that. My fifth grade class can say that louder. One more time. Aloha. There you go. Got to make sure everybody up and listening. Okay. Ano ai ke aloha e nā hoa a nā ohana. Mahalo nui ko ka ko halavai ana I a nei I ke ia la. O wau o Jana Marie ke haulani ka hele madali. No na nā kuli mai au. Ua hana ia e ku'u mau makua hine e lua. Ua hana o alu ia au. He e lua pauna e lua o neki wale no ko lili ia manawa hana o ia. O ia hoi ka nui o ka poho 5. Ua lelo ia e nā kauka he nui e make ana wau. I nā wau iola, e loa ana ia o nā pilikia he nui. A e nā wali ana ke kino. E ana ke kū haa heo nei no au ia nei. E he makula ana I ke ia la me nā haumana e ae o ka papa e lua kaukani I wa ka lua kumaha. Aloha family and friends, all glory to God. Thanks for bringing us here today. My name is Jana Marie Kehalani Kahele Madali. I am from Nanakuli. I was raised by 2 foster mothers, one of whom is here today. Unlike most healthy childbirths, I was born prematurely. I was only 2 pounds and 2 ounces, as big as the size of a palm. It was said by many doctors I would not survive, and if I did, I would have a lot of complications. But I proudly stand here today, not only as the student speaker, but as a graduate of the class of 2024. Funny story, when I first got the call, I totally ignored it. I thought it was a spam caller. And my friend Kavehi was like, so, did you get it? I was like, shoot, I never know that was them calling me. I better call them back. I realized I just changed my number, and they told me that I had 3 numbers listed on my student profile. So I literally would not be standing here today if it wasn't for you guys. So shout out to Auntie Leslie them. You guys are a real one. Anyways, if you didn't already know, our school mascot is a puel, and owlets fledge from the nest on foot before they are even able to fly. This can be compared to going off to college even if we are not ready, as the nest symbolizes home. As we stride toward independence, we quickly realize the harsh realities. Just as puels suffer from habitat loss, we're being pushed out of our own homes. They are preyed on by diseases, and we're losing our family members to health epidemics. But we are both a part of a population still surviving and thriving. I believe as graduates, we are spiritual embodiments of this owl as we try to navigate through life and the hardships and what it means to be a true puel. I've been a student here at West Oahu since 2019. I was blessed by Auntie Manu and Indrajit as the mahiai, or farmer of the Uluniu Coconut Grove right behind D Building. Although I now consider it my home, it is not where I started my college journey. After high school, I went to Washington on a basketball scholarship to play for the Highline Thunderbirds. So if anybody wants to run it back at the park, let me know. Hawks, baby! Sorry, had to throw that in for the end town. Anyways, I got my associate's degree in 2 years because of the great coaching staff who put the student in student athlete, because slacking in school was not worth the running. So thank you to all of my teachers and coaches on and off the court, and to my poly club who was my home away from home. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend my commencement because my grandma got sick. After finals, I flew straight home and made it just in time to say goodbye, and my mama followed her home within the next couple of years. For many of us, our family is the main reason we pursue a post-secondary education in the first place. And when we lose our reason, we lose our purpose. But if you're lucky, the people that surround you turn into family, and these relationships are what get you through it. So I leave you with one thing today. Remember why you are here. Remember who ran the race before you to get you this far. You might have to slow down to catch your breath, but the finish line will remain there. Some people take 8 years to graduate, like me, and some people triple major, like my sister. Thank you for that. What matters is that we are here now. Throughout my life, a constant theme seemed to be birds. As someone who was kept in an incubator at birth, hatched into a hawk in high school, and transitioned from a Thunderbird into a Pueo in college. These mascots were such a ho'ailana, or sign for me, as it reminded me not to be afraid to fly. So, to the graduating class of 2024, let's fly high, baby. And to my mama who's watching from the best seat in heaven, today I spread my wings for you. Mahalo.
Thank you, Jana Marie. Our next speaker, Dave Ian Domingo Sebastian, is sharing several special occasions with us today. He is not only one of our student speakers and a graduate today, but yesterday he celebrated his birthday. So let's all say happy birthday, okay? Happy birthday, Dave. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Dave! Dave is earning a Bachelor of Arts in Humanities with a concentration in philosophy. Following his graduation, he plans on entering seminary school and encouraging others to share their light. Let's hear more about how he found his light and plans on being an inspiration to his community. It is my honor to welcome Dave Ian Domingo Sebastian.
Aloha! Good morning to my fellow graduates, faculty and staff, family and friends, and honorable guests. I want to thank all of you on behalf of the graduates of the class of 2024 for your unconditional love. We thank you for sharing your care, compassion, and light with us as we work to achieve this milestone. I would like to thank in a special way my family and friends who have been a source of inspiration and motivation on this journey. I especially want to thank my grandma, Francisca Sebastian, who passed this last January. The light she shared continues to ignite me to become a better person. This past Wednesday, the 1st of May, we carried out a special tradition at the Noyal Center where staff, tutors, and students gathered to celebrate the accomplishments of the candidates for graduation. As part of this tradition, seniors are gifted with a kihei, and each person stamps a kukui nut leaf on it. The kihei marks a transition from one chapter to the next, and the kukui nut was used as a source of light and symbolizes the work of the Noyal Center in our role of spreading and sharing the illuminating power of knowledge with our peers. For the first time on Wednesday, it finally became my kihei that we were stamping after years of gifting others with my mana'o. During the ceremony, I wanted to center my thoughts. It was a mixture of thankfulness of the people who came before and assurance of those who will come after will be fine. It was a sense of completion. I think of all the times these students have helped me to become a tutor by sharing their experiences, words, and actions. The stamping ceremony reminded me of the bigger picture, of the people we meet who share their light and help us along the way. I call to mind the many people who have come before and shared their light with the world, and how we are stewards of that illuminating knowledge. I believe that everyone here has some kind of light to give, a talent, a passion, or something that is uniquely them. By sharing our light, we connect with others, and that helps to fix those holes and patches we find in our society. I began working as a peer writing tutor in the summer of 2021 at the Noyal Center. My first face-to-face appointment was one of my most notable and memorable achievements, considering I had to overcome my shyness. I was afraid of saying the wrong thing, and I was honestly unsure if I could really help them. However, this role allowed me to confirm the gifts I already had and to share them with others. But even now, I still get nervous. But it turns out help doesn't only travel in one direction. Through tutoring, I met so many amazing people from different backgrounds, disciplines, and worldviews. They shared their passions, their laughter, their hopes, and their tears. By sharing the light of their experience, it has enriched my understanding of others and strengthened my resolve to become a beacon of light in the world. In closing, I exhort each and every one of you to share your light. Despite our diverse degrees and concentrations, we have the kuleana to be good stewards of knowledge, to brighten up and ignite our community. Be it in your future students or patients, your customers, clients, or kapuna, your spark may be what keeps them going. Let us be emboldened by the mission to the spark, the light, and the warmth for others, no matter our course in life. May the fire we share make our world a little less cold, a little less dark, and a little more bright each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations again to Jana and Dave, and happy birthday, Dave. And now, UH West Oahu Faculty Senate Chair Ka'iulani Akamine will give the final salutation to the graduates on behalf of the faculty.
Aloha kako, graduates, honored guests, faculty, staff, and our administrators. It's a beautiful day in Hawaii, because we have the privilege today to celebrate your hard-earned accomplishments. Congratulations, 2024 graduates. We would like to pay homage first to all of our new UH West Oahu family, to all of you out there who have inspired our graduates to continue and to finish. And we would like to commend our graduates on this arduous yet rewarding journey. Before we say a hui ho, until we meet again, and each of you go on your separate ways, I would like to gift you with something that a beloved colleague has given to me. Awamo kuleana. Awamo kuleana. This is an understanding that collective transformation can happen through individual excellence. Awamo kuleana, collective transformation happens through individual excellence. An important and essential understanding that what we do impacts others. What you do matters. There's a direct impact on and in our community because of what you do and what you do not do. So get out there, graduates. Put the mana in your hana. Everybody has mana, and put it in your hana, anything that you go out and do. Embrace who you are and amplify the beloved community that you have helped create at UH West Oahu. Amplify this in all of your communities and into our global community. Continue to dream your big dreams. The state of Hawaii and our global community need your contributions, your dreams, your expertise. Amplify this in all of your communities. And most importantly, do it with aloha. Aloha in the truest essence of what this was intended to bring to our world. I'm truly humbled that this homegrown tera has the privilege of saying on behalf of the UH West Oahu faculty, congratulations. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be a part of your journey. Mahalo nui.
Thank you, Chair Akamine. We will now proceed with the awarding of academic degrees and certificates. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity, and Bachelor of Applied Science degrees please rise and come forward? And will Chancellor Benham and Vice Chancellor Barkov please join me near the podium? Will Business Division Chair Franklin Kudo please meet at the bottom of the stage? And I would like to call Drs. Jan Javanar and Robin Tasaka from Student Affairs to the podiums to present the candidates for degrees and certificates. And thank you to Faculty Marshals Linda Rando and Hoku Kwan for coming forward to assist.
Lauren Kanoho, concentration in hospitality and tourism.
Andrea Nicole Dombrica, concentration in accounting with distinction.
Tehana Fethel, concentration in finance.
Chatney Higa French, concentration in management.
Tehani Nicole Moss, concentration in marketing.
Devin Hall, concentration in accounting.
Tiana Chang Kamealoha, concentration in management.
Kyla Harris, concentration in accounting.
Maria Riza Parinas, concentration in accounting.
Leighton Torda, concentration in management with distinction.
Fritzi Jane Akob, concentration in accounting with distinction.
Lauren Schroeder, concentration in cyber operations.
Kathy Alcantara, concentrations in accounting and finance with distinction.
Christopher Mia, concentration in cyber operations with distinction.
Amanda May Alimbuyao, concentration in management with a certificate in Asian studies with distinction.
Zayden Hambaro, concentration in accounting.
Adrian Jaden Batara, concentration in hospitality and tourism.
Tor Ishikawa, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Nicholas Colina, concentration in marketing with a certificate in Asian studies.
David Big, concentration in cyber operations with distinction.
Melina Marquez, concentration in management with distinction.
Shariel Michaela Correa Santiago, concentration in marketing.
Magella and Carla Tolentino Lorenzo, concentration in management.
Kristen Yasui, concentration in marketing.
Christiane Canoneo, concentration in hospitality and tourism.
Ashley Ramboyon, concentration in accounting.
Allison Oshiro, concentration in accounting.
Sherry Alvarado, concentration in hospitality and tourism.
Marlene Sangapolutele, concentration in finance.
Heidi May Soriano, concentration in accounting.
Garrett Oshiro Jr., concentration in accounting with distinction.
Noah Rodney Diaz, concentration in accounting.
Blaine Ohama, concentrations in management and marketing.
Jonah Ka'a'a, concentration in management.
Jerome Laforteza, concentrations in accounting and marketing.
Mark Anthony Martinez, concentration in accounting.
Leisha Duvachel, concentration in management.
Terrence Loken, concentration in management.
Javon Rodriguez, concentration in marketing.
Amy Little, concentration in accounting and finance with distinction.
Brianna McMurray, concentration in marketing.
Rochelle Kendrick, concentration in management.
Jolina Edorise, concentration in accounting with distinction.
Claudia Chen, concentration in marketing with distinction.
Courtney Manabe, concentration in marketing, certificate in Asian studies with distinction.
Emily Malasig, concentration in accounting.
Kimberly Ballesteros, concentration in accounting.
Richard Seaman, concentration in marketing.
Sofia Salvatierra, concentration in finance with distinction.
Chen Long Chang, concentration in general business administration with distinction.
Julian Daugherty, concentration in cyber operations.
Brianna Villa, concentration in information security and assurance.
Daniel Tamashiro, concentration in accounting.
Roberto Butak Jr., concentrations in cyber operations and information security and assurance.
Jarrett Cruz, concentration in accounting.
Bryant Sadiarin, concentration in information security and assurance.
Jacob Obre, concentration in finance.
Shai Page, concentration in cyber operations with distinction.
Caitlin Malul, concentration in hospitality and tourism.
Clark Jr. Kasabay, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Isabella Asuncion, concentration in marketing.
Daniel Noah de los Santos, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Christopher Lee, concentration in marketing.
Yuriko Sato, concentration in information technology.
Lauren Garcia, concentration in hospitality and tourism.
Coco Ong, concentration in information security and assurance.
Jada Arcalas, concentrations in hospitality and tourism and management with distinction.
JC Ann Crystal Amanka, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Barbara Cabales, concentrations in finance with a certificate in risk management and insurance.
Jared McCann, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Stacy Reed, concentrations in finance and management.
David Pavlicek, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Chelsea Tagaloa, concentration in management with a certificate in risk management and insurance.
Joshua Borns, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Ann Kelsey Ruedo, concentration in accounting with distinction.
Ruskin Bon Cristobal, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction.
Al Jebren Antonio, concentration in accounting with distinction.
Marilyn Choi, concentration in information security and assurance.
Noah Long, concentration in general business administration. Mary Kay Liss, concentration in accounting with distinction. Congratulations, business administration candidates, cybersecurity, applied sciences, and labor studies certificates. Welcoming now the candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Creative Media degree and having Creative Media Director, UH West Oahu Academy, Sharla Hanaoka, at the bottom of the stage to greet the candidates. Zachary Hata, concentrations in communications and new media technologies.
Joseph Blancaflor, concentration in video game design and development.
Ayana Sabuko, concentration in communications and new media technologies with distinction.
Nicholas Burchett, concentration in video game design and development.
Mark Ortiz Mercado Jr., concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Nathaniel Jara, concentration in video game design and development.
Evan Arita, concentration in video game design and development.
Calder Laval, concentration in general creative media.
Sarah Florendo Iboshi, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Calvin Hill, concentration in communications and new media technologies with distinction.
Zachary Hamrick, concentration in general creative media.
Kaylee Yoshimoto, concentration in general creative media.
Harper Okamoto, concentration in design and media with distinction.
Lena Dakanai, concentration in design and media.
Amanda Joy Markham, concentration in video game design and development.
Alyssa Marie General, concentration in communications and new media technologies.
Bryson Otani Cuartero, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Rhiannon Schultes, concentration in general creative media.
McGuire Ishikawa, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Erica Byers, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Kalahiki Reed, concentration in video game design and development.
Lauren Leilani Muller, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Aliyah Baruso, concentration in video game design and development with distinction.
John Po'o Kamakana V, concentration in video game design and development.
Mark Dominic Kabosi, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Kaela Kaulia Vares, concentration in general creative media.
Joshua Alexander Centeno Sid, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Titan Funai, concentration in general creative media with distinction.
Josel Esmeno, concentration in general creative media with distinction. Congratulations, creative media candidates. Welcoming now the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Humanities, and will Dr. Carmen Note Odiambo from the Humanities Division station herself at the bottom of the stage. Mark Larry Laksamana, concentration in English with distinction.
Jana Marie Kahele Madali, concentration in Hawaiian Pacific Studies.
Lahela Paressa, concentration in Hawaiian Pacific Studies.
Dave Ian Sebastian, concentration in philosophy with distinction.
Kahiao Hamburg, concentration in Hawaiian Pacific Studies.
Sean Derek Priester, concentration in philosophy.
Bethany Gallardi, concentration in English with distinction.
Justin Puaoi, certificate in labor studies.
Sean Kui, concentration in history.
Irish Barber, certificate in labor studies. Tuya Anna Scanlon, certificate in labor studies. Congratulations, creative media and labor studies certificate candidates. Oh, sorry. Welcoming next the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Natural Science and the Bachelor of Applied Science with concentrations in Health Information Management, Health Professions, and Hawaiian and Indigenous Health and Healing. Please rise and come forward. And will Dr. Esther Widiasi, Division Chair for Math, Natural, and Health Sciences, please head to the foot of the stage.
So announcing Lea Sabado, concentration in English with distinction, and a Bachelor of Education degree in Secondary Ed with distinction. Angelo Michael Rossetti, concentration in English. Kayla Yanagisawa, concentration in English with distinction. Sydney Pasos, concentration in English with distinction. Kobe Badillo, concentration in English and a Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education. Chloe Kitsu, concentration in English. Again, we congratulate all our candidates in the Division of Humanities with the Bachelor of Arts degree.
Joyce Maries Yanaria, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Tyler Chantakom, concentration in health professions.
Risa Bukaneg, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Janine Metnek, concentration in health information management with distinction.
Kelsey Lynn Slade, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Marina Garcia, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Christine Ramel, concentration in health professions.
Brenda Heresa, concentration in health professions.
Jana Panganiban, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Mackenzie Dice, concentration in applied mathematics with distinction.
Kiara Ganeku, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Chloe Tejero, concentration in applied mathematics with distinction.
Trinity Phillips, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Olu Wajafunmi Faniomi, concentration in health information management.
Jeanette Gonzalez, concentration in health professions.
Halialoha Mae Mae Arsena Maele Ramos, concentration in Hawaiian and Indigenous health and healing.
Kylie Neves, concentration in health professions with distinction.
Kavehi Gordon, concentration in Hawaiian and Indigenous health and healing with distinction.
Megan Hamilton, concentration in health professions.
Alana Grace, concentration in Hawaiian and Indigenous health and healing. Tatum Leslie, concentration in Hawaiian and Indigenous health and healing with distinction. Congratulations, natural science and applied science candidates. We present next the candidates for the Bachelor of Education degree and calling upon Ed Division Chair Dr. Mary Heller to please meet the graduates at the bottom of the stage. Kayla Yanagisawa, concentration in mid-level education with distinction.
Du Jack Win, concentration in elementary education.
Cleary Ka'ahanui, concentration in secondary education with distinction.
Brooke Leong, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Sydney Pasos, concentration in secondary education with distinction.
Sae Higa, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Chloe Kitsu, concentration in secondary education.
Dominique Ho, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Oh, so you're coming through twice. What's your name? Okay, what's your last name? What's your degree? With distinction? Kobe Badillo, secondary education with distinction.
Alyssa Marie Balmaceda, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Justine May Guerrero, concentration in secondary education.
Giselle Corrales, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Jenna Park, concentration in secondary education with distinction.
Madeline Dempsey, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Kevin Clark Labrador, concentration in secondary education.
Haley Cadena, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Riley Cristobal, concentration in secondary education with distinction.
Melissa Orden, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Tatiana Hamilton, concentration in secondary education.
Shania Silva, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Christo Ann Batoon, concentration in secondary education.
Brandy Tabisola, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Michaela Marie Rogers Tival, concentration in secondary education, certificate in Hawaiian Pacific Studies.
Taylor Rufo, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Angeli Griffin, concentration in secondary education.
Caitlin Stallcup, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Taylor Ann Okimoto, concentration in secondary education.
Mary Grace Ringor, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Kayla Miguel, concentration in secondary education.
Melanie Kawilan, concentration in elementary education.
Jay Miller, concentration in secondary education.
Joriano Honu La'akea Pavai, concentration in elementary education.
Angelo Michael Rossetti, concentration in secondary education.
Sarah Mark, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Lea Sabaro, secondary education.
Amy Bosley, concentration in elementary education with distinction.
Congratulations, education candidates. Welcoming next the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Public Administration and will Division Chair for Public Administration, Dr. Christina Liu. Please greet your graduates at the bottom of the stage. John Schofstall, concentration in General Public Administration with distinction.
Hector Salazar, concentration in Justice Administration.
Diane James, certificate in Healthcare Administration.
Nicole Kamai, concentration in Community Health with distinction.
Maria Alexandra Enriquez, concentration in Justice Administration.
Paulo Gaudencio Honrales, concentration in Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Tehani Kekua Vela, concentration in Healthcare Administration with distinction.
Roel Ansagay, concentration in Healthcare Administration with distinction.
Lorelei Metzger, concentration in Justice Administration with distinction.
Chase Yan, concentration in Justice Administration.
Angela Silva, concentration in Healthcare Administration.
Radhika McCutcheon, concentration in Justice Administration.
Leana Kabarlak, concentration in Healthcare Administration with distinction.
Kate Bowie, concentration in healthcare administration.
Christina Zai, concentration in healthcare administration.
Sonia Pinado, concentrations in community health, disaster preparedness and emergency management, and general public administration.
Glenna Marie Duca, concentration in healthcare administration.
Malie McCullen, concentration in healthcare administration.
Alana Avellino, concentration in justice administration.
Destiny Flores, concentration in justice administration.
Dana Pualani Serrao, concentration in general public administration.
Brooklyn Dela Cruz, concentration in healthcare administration.
Madison Abero, concentration in healthcare administration with distinction.
Stephen Sheeter, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management with distinction. Brandon Feliciano, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Congratulations, public administration candidates. We welcome the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences and call upon Division Chair for Social Sciences, Dr. Orlando Garcia Santiago, to meet the candidates at the bottom of the stage. Richard Marshall, concentration in psychology.
Nisa Bercasio, concentration in psychology.
Jesse Chong, concentration in sustainable community food systems with distinction.
Braden Kaling, concentration in psychology.
Janine Mariano, concentration in sustainable community food systems with distinction.
Marissa Gordon, concentration in psychology.
Janae Frasco Brewer, concentration in anthropology.
Hosanna Meridine Diocares, concentrations in psychology and sociology.
Kaimia Tagami, concentration in anthropology.
Juwo Yiri, concentration in psychology.
Lindy Ishimine, concentration in psychology.
Nicole Dakiwog, concentration in psychology with distinction.
Kelly Ann Takeshita, concentration in psychology.
Kylie Murakami, concentration in psychology.
Justine Stanley, concentration in psychology.
Caden Peterson, concentration in psychology.
Linda Natoli, concentration in psychology.
Kristen Antonio, concentration in early childhood education.
Rachel Kaler, concentration in psychology with distinction.
Dalen Chanfat Arjuran, concentration in early childhood education.
Isabel Nicole Kalambakan, concentration in psychology.
Sima Fine, concentration in psychology.
Uilani Launaole Kaholokula Omauza, concentration in psychology.
Lena Marie Ramos, concentration in psychology.
Kaylin Franchi Duncan, concentration in psychology with distinction.
Bree Kipili'i, concentrations in psychology and sociology with distinction.
Tate Lau, concentration in psychology with distinction.
Emma Vogel, concentration in sociology.
Reina Ignacio Maguire, concentration in psychology, certificate in substance abuse and addiction studies with distinction.
Kayla Yee, concentration in sociology with distinction.
Shanoa Aulaumea, concentration in psychology.
Jessica Tantamko, concentration in sociology with distinction. Alicia Salas, concentration in psychology with distinction.
Congratulations, candidates, Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences. Ask now that Chancellor Benham please return to the podium. Will Faculty Marshals Linda Randall and Hoku Kwan please take your positions at front center stage.
You're going to do your things, your tassels. You're going to do your tassels. The Faculty Senate, the Faculty Commencement Marshal is a duty of honor and distinction. Our faculty marshals were selected because of their significant achievements. Dr. Hoku Kwan lives the olelo no eau o ke kahua mamua mahope ke kulu. First the foundation, then we build. The roots that ground her are in the soil of Nanakuli. A proud Golden Hawk, she graduated from Nanakuli High School in 2010 and went on to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree in Humanities from UH West Oahu, followed by both a master's degree in education from UH Manoa and her education doctoral degree just last summer, 2023. As a staff member at UH West Oahu since 2012, she has worked tirelessly to ensure Native Hawaiian students' success. Kahiao is how her students and colleagues would describe her. She gives without expectation of return. Mahalo Hoku for reminding each of our graduates that we must serve our families, our lahui, and all communities of Hawaii. Professor Linda Randall. Professor Linda Randall holds the distinction of serving as the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at the University of Hawaii West Oahu, not once, but twice, beginning her career while this campus was still located in the 5 portables next to Leeward Community College, and continuing her service at our new campus in Kapolei. With her wealth of experience and professional demeanor, she could have accepted many high-level positions around the world, but she has remained as a faculty member and administrator committed to her students and this community. Dr. Randall will be retiring at the end of this academic year. Mahalo nunui, Linda, for sharing your aloha with us all these years. Congratulations to our faculty marshals, and mahalo again for your contribution to our students and our campus community and Hawaii.
Okay, so now will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, Bachelor of Applied Science, Bachelor of Arts in Creative Media, Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity, Bachelor of Education, Bachelor of Arts in Humanities, Bachelor of Science in Natural Sciences, Bachelor of Arts in Public Administration, the Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences, as well as the students who are candidates for certificates. Please rise. E ke po'o kulanui Benham, no ka haoli e haawi aku ai I keia mau mohokula. Ua ho'oko ia na koina ho'o na awau e la ko, a apono ia no ka haawi ana I ke kekele a palapala kupono e na auna kumu kulo. Chancellor Benham, it gives me great pleasure to present to you these candidates. They have completed their prescribed courses of study and are recommended by the faculty for the award of the appropriate degrees and certificates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents and the State of Hawaii, I hereby confer upon you the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled. Graduates, this is a very important symbolic rite of passage from student to graduate. Keep your eyes on the faculty marshals who will guide you through the symbolic transition from candidates for a degree or certificate to holder of a degree or certificate. With your marshals as your guide, you will now move the tassel on your motorboards from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the University of Hawaii West Oahu class of 2024. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor Benham. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our commencement to a close. Before we do close, I'd like to mahalo again our UH band, all of our campus ambassadors and volunteers, our ASL interpreters as well. So thank you again. Following, as we celebrate our graduates, you may greet your graduates at the TC Ching Field. Please exit the Stan Sheriff Center and follow the directions of your ushers and campus ambassadors to give your graduates tle and makana. Thank you again and congratulations.
you.